We usually think of evolution as this constant process of upgrading, right? Getting bigger, better, stronger. But what if I told you that sometimes nature's most powerful tool isn't creating something new, but just hitting delete? Today, we're going to dive into the really weird side of evolution, where it decides to just get rid of stuff. I mean, have you ever had one of those days, where you feel like the universe just hit Ctrl+Z on all your hard work? Well, it turns out that's a pretty universal feeling, because sometimes nature literally does that. It hits undo on millions of years of a species' progress. So, what's this called? It's called regressive evolution, and it completely flips our whole idea of progress right on its head. We picture evolution as this straight line, always moving toward perfection, stronger, faster, smarter. But this is the ultimate unupgrade. It's when nature looks at a feature a species spent ages developing and just takes it away. Okay, so that brings us to our very first case file, the lungless frog. And honestly, the subtitle here says it all. This is basically a story about how to get mugged by evolution. And wow, this timeline really puts it all into perspective. So check this out. About 100 million years ago, fishy ancestors did all this hard work to develop lungs so they could breathe on land. I mean, that's a huge achievement, right? One of the most complex organs out there. But then, fast forward 50 million years, and evolution just looks at this one group of frogs and says, you know what? Give me those lungs back. Just like that. It just decided to reverse all that amazing progress.
And the result? Well, you get a creature with lungs that are so tiny, so underdeveloped, they're pretty much useless. These poor frogs are now stuck breathing entirely through their skin, kind of like a little wet sponge. All that incredible effort to develop lungs, poof, gone, just deleted.
So yeah, for this little guy, the breathless cycle just continues. All right, let's move on to our next case file. Meet the homeless snail, or as you probably know it, a slug. Yeah, a creature that was basically evicted by nature. I mean, this comparison really shows it all. Snails and slugs, they're basically the same animal, but somewhere along the evolutionary road, the slug's ancestors just lost their shells. You have to wonder, why would evolution delete your only piece of armor, your mobile home? Well, maybe it just took too much energy to build a shell, or maybe being able to squish into tiny spaces was a bigger advantage. Whatever the reason, it clearly worked for them. These guys thrive pretty much everywhere, even in Antarctica. So I guess it's proof that sometimes being homeless is actually an evolutionary advantage. And for this little guy, the slimy cycle continues. Okay, buckle up, because things are about to get really weird. Our third case file is the eye. And this creature, well, it can only be described as an evolutionary disaster, a total glitch in the matrix. It's like nature just grabbed a bunch of spare parts and stuck them all together. Seriously. It's technically a lemur, but it has these squirrel-like buck teeth that never stop growing. To find food, it taps on trees like a woodpecker. Then it uses these huge bat-like ears to literally echolocate the grubs moving around inside the wood. And to get them out, well, that's where it gets truly bizarre. It's all about that one very, very weird finger. The source material put it perfectly. Evolution basically offered this guy the middle finger, and he actually accepted it. I mean, it has this super long, skinny, almost skeletal middle finger that it uses to fish bugs out of trees. It's just so strange. It's like evolution stopped updating this particular model millions of years ago and just left it as this weird, one-of-a-kind experiment.
A true living glitch in the system. And for the eye, the weird-fingered cycle continues.
Okay, for our final case, this one isn't just weird. It's actually kind of brutal. Meet the Atlas moth, a magnificent creature that is, quite literally, born to die. So with this one, evolution delivers a really cruel twist. As a caterpillar, the Atlas moth is an absolute eating machine. It just devours leaves for weeks on end. Then, it emerges from its cocoon as this majestic giant with wings that can span almost a foot. But evolution deleted its mouth. It has no way to eat. Nothing at all. 7. That one number defines its entire adult life. Just 7 days. It has 1 week. That's it. It's just this frantic race against time, a desperate dash to find a mate before it literally starves to death. It's born for one single purpose, to reproduce, and then it just dies of hunger. And for this beautiful, doomed creature, the hungry cycle continues. So, After all of these wild stories, from lungless frogs to mouthless moths, you've got to be asking the big question, why? Why on earth does evolution hit the delete button?
Well, the answer really messes with our most basic assumptions. It's so easy to think of evolution as this ladder of progress, right? Always climbing up. But that's just not how it works. The reality is much more like a weird, winding path, full of detours and U-turns that scientists, honestly, are still trying to fully understand.
So what's the big takeaway from all this? First, evolution is not a straight line to perfection. It's messy. It's full of glitches and unupgrades and reversals, and sometimes just being good enough is all that matters to survive. Even if that means losing something useful like a shell, or get this, even parts of your own skeleton. There's a deep-sea fish that literally deletes its own bones as it gets older. How crazy is that?
And all of this leaves us with one last, really fascinating question to think about. If evolution is still hitting that delete button today, well, it makes you wonder.